Welcome to the Paycheck Project. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.
Today, we're going to crack open the F.I.R.E. movement. That's financial independence, retire early, and we're going to turn it into a blueprint with actual numbers you can follow.
You know, what if financial freedom wasn't some far-off, vague dream, but an engineering problem? That's the core idea here. We're going to look at the formulas, the steps, and the real data that makes this whole thing tick.
Okay, so first things first. Every great journey needs a destination, right? In the F.I.R.E. world, we call that your F.I.R.E. number. This is the exact amount of money you need invested to call yourself financially free.
Okay, so how do you figure that out? Well, it all comes down to a super simple but really powerful formula, the 25x rule. This isn't some vague save more advice. No, this gives you a real, concrete number to aim for, and it's all based on one thing: how much you spend every year.
And getting to that number is actually a pretty straightforward three-step process. First, you gotta track what you're spending right now. Get a real, honest baseline. Then, you project what you think you'll spend in retirement. And remember, some costs go down, but others, like healthcare, might go up. Finally, you just multiply that annual number by 25. Simple as that.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because you can see the direct link between your lifestyle and your goal. If you're aiming for a Lean F.I.R.E. on 30 grand a year, you need 750K. But if you want a more comfortable Fat F.I.R.E. at 100 grand, your target skyrockets to $2.5 million. Think about that. Every dollar you spend today adds $25 to the mountain you have to climb.
Okay, so you might be thinking, where did this 25 times number even come from? Is it just random? Nope. It's actually the flip side of a very well-researched, data-driven safety net that has been tested for decades. And that safety net is called the 4% rule. This is absolutely key. The idea is, in your first year of retirement, you pull out 4% of your total nest egg. After that, you just adjust that same dollar amount for inflation each year. That's it. This simple rule is the engine that's designed to make your money outlast you. But, okay, the big question, right? Can we actually trust this number? I mean, for an early retirement that could last, 40, 50 years? That feels like a long time to bet on a single percentage. So where does the confidence in this rule even come from? Well, that confidence comes from a pretty legendary piece of academic research known as the Trinity Study. Back in 1998, a few finance professors crunched decades of historical market data. We're talking from 1926 all the way to 1995. They looked at every kind of market: depressions, wars, booms, you name it. And what they found? It's pretty incredible. Look at this. A 4% withdrawal rate with at least half your money in stocks had a 100% success rate over every single 30-year period they tested. It survived the Great Depression, World War II, everything. It never failed. But look what happens when you just bump it up to 5 or 6%. The success rate just falls off a cliff. This is it. This is the data that made 4% the gold standard. All right, so we've got our destination, our F.I.R.E. number, we've got our safety net, the 4% rule. Now we need the engine, the vehicle that's actually going to get us there. And for that, the F.I.R. community has a clear favorite. And for pretty much everyone in the F.I.R. community, that vehicle is the simple, low-cost, broad market index fund. Why? Well, 3 huge reasons. You get instant diversification, the fees are incredibly low, and their performance is proven. And that last point is wild. Over the last 15 years, something like 90% of the pros, the highly paid fund managers, failed to beat a simple index fund. Why pay more for worse results? And honestly, getting started is way less intimidating than it sounds. You pick a broad index, like the S&P 500. You select a specific low-cost fund that tracks it from a place like Vanguard or Fidelity. You open an account, and then, this is the most important part, you just invest consistently and always max out those tax-advantaged accounts like your 401k and IRA first. That's like getting free money. Okay, now for the really fun part. We've got the plan, we've got the car, so how do we put the pedal to the metal? How do we get there faster? This is all about the accumulation phase. It really just boils down to two main levers you can pull. And the real magic happens when you pull both at the same time. On one hand, you cut your expenses, focusing on the big three: housing, transportation, and food. That's where you get the most bang for your buck. Then, at the same time, you find ways to bring in more money. But, and this is critical, you have to invest 100% of that extra cash. Don't let your lifestyle inflate, or you're just running in place. So this is the moment where we see how this is all connected. None of these steps are separate ideas. They're all part of one big interlocking system. It's all math, and a change in one place sends a shockwave through the whole thing. Let's just walk through it. It all starts with your lifestyle, right? How much you decide you need to spend each year. Well, that number gets plugged into the 25x rule, which of course means a bigger F.I.R.E. number to aim for. And a bigger number naturally means it's going to take you longer to get there. A much longer timeline. See, it's all connected. And that's really the core lesson here. That's the takeaway. Every single financial choice you make, the coffee you buy, the car you drive, the place you live, it has a real, tangible, calculable impact on when you can retire. Once that clicks, you're in control. So there it is, the destination, the safety net, the engine, and the accelerator. We've laid out the entire blueprint for you. The only question left is, what are you going to build with it?